And then we have the chat open in case anybody has issues. Ronnie, for some reason, is having issues. He can't, his speaker's not working. So if he says anything, it'll be in the chat. And with that, I'm going to go to the presenter screen for our piece. And we're at 11:03. So I'd like to say hello to everyone and thank you for joining us. My name is Melissa Carr. I'm with Design Services for Student Life. I'm the manager here, and we'll be presenting the brand guidelines for TWU so everybody can be familiar and not be caught off guard. I'm going to, the next two people up are my colleagues, and they're going to be presenting to you the majority of the material. So go ahead, Beth, introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Beth Howard, and I'm a senior design specialist at Design Services for Student Life. I have been at TWU for almost 20 years now, so I know my way around the maroon.
And I'm Brandon Stokes. I'm also a senior design specialist in design services, and I've been with TWU since I graduated 9 years ago.
Right on. All right, let's dive right in.
All right, let's start off with one of the most important parts of the TWU branding, which is our colors. The main colors you need to know are the two you see right in the middle, maroon and white. Our official TWU maroon is Pantone 202. And these colors that you see here are all part of the visual identity manual on the marketing site if you ever need to reference them as you're creating pieces. For any printed items that are going out to external audiences, which is any audience outside of TWU, when you take your page and you remove any of the white of the paper or the black of any text, you should at least 60% of any of the colors that are left there should be maroon. If your piece is going to prospective students, that number should be 80%. The reason we ask for those ratios is to maximize the association of maroon and white with TWU. Stay away from using green or blue as a dominant color. And again, whatever you're creating, be sure, even if it's for internal audiences, be sure to include maroon. You want people to be able to tell at a glance that it's us. Another really important component of the TWU branding are our official fonts, which are Museo Sans and Gotham. Museo Sans is available through Adobe if you have the Adobe Creative Suite, but Gotham has to be purchased separately. So if you can't get a hold of Gotham, just focus on using Museo Sans as your primary font on most of your pieces. The idea is, again, to create a consistent look for all the pieces that are coming out of the university. When someone sees a TWU event or flyer or brochure, they should know, even before they start reading the content, that it's ours. Another important brand visual to keep in mind is our TWU owl. Even if you're not using an image of Oakley, either in illustration or photography, be sure that if you use an owl on your pieces, you're using a barn owl. That is specifically our owl, which is cool because they're actually really, really, really cute. All right, next up, since we're trying to create a strong visual sense of who TWU is, treating the logo respectfully is really important. You should never alter any TWU logo. You size the logo up or size the logo down, you've got to make sure that you are maintaining the aspect ratio. You cannot add to or remove elements from a TWU logo. When you're using a logo, you need to be sure that you maintain an area of isolation. All that means is that you're keeping a buffer of white space around the logo so it doesn't get lost in a busy background or photo or illustration. Note that the space doesn't have to be literally white, but it should be on a light neutral color of some kind so that it's still easy to see the logo and it's not on anything busy or confusing visually. When you're using logos on a flyer or other pieces, be mindful that you should choose a single logo. If multiple departments are co-sponsoring an event, consider using one of the general TWU logos and listing all the sponsors as part of the text on the flyer. It's an easy way if you've got, 4 or 5 departments all working together on a single event. And following these rules and using the approved logos helps the university present a unified image and message. And if you find that you need a logo that you don't have access to currently, they are all available on the official TWU photo shelter at twu.photoshelter.com. There you can find EPS logos, which are perfect for print files, and PNG logos, which are perfect for digital use. You also have access to images in the public folder and instructions for how to download all the images of logos right there on the site. I'll now hand it back over to Melissa.
You're muted, Melissa.
You're muted.
There we go. Okay, sorry. So most of you are students, but for those of you who might request art from Design Services, I'm going to let you know that our office is here to promote student life and resources and events that, along with student organizations. So we generate both print and digital material so students can become aware of the campus resources and ways to connect. So if you're an org or department and you would like us to generate art, we just ask that you plan ahead at least 21 days in advance of when you want to see the art, and then back that up a couple more weeks for approval and print time. We ask for 3 weeks to generate the art when we're super busy. And then you'll have time to look at it, approve it, and then send it to your vendor to get printed. Our request address is twu.edu/design services. There's a form on there that you can fill out. If you're part of a student organization, we do have some pre-made templates also on our Pioneer Engage page that can be used for social media. So if you don't want to do the design yourself and you're like, let's just use this template, put the dates on it, and let's get it out, you can pick one of those. We host TWU events, social media pages. So if you have something going on and you want us to help promote it on that page, we would love to do that. We want to be like a one-stop shop for events, so students can go over there and see not only like photos of the events, but like go through the page and see what else might be happening on campus in the future. That's it for that. Next is Brandon.
So I'm going to go over some TWU social media guidelines. Starting off, which channels should you use? It really depends. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are the 3 main social platforms used for promoting events and conveying information for your department. Pinterest is great for tips and information that is not dated or time specific. All university social media accounts must use the fountain icon provided, and accounts should be registered with marketing and communications at twu.edu/social-media/how-to-register-your-accounts. Probably shouldn't have put the dashes in there. The social media page should be named TWU followed by your department or organization name. These are what the profile icons on social media pages should look like for all departments and university-sponsored orgs. There should not be a department name or organization name included with the profile icon. Now, why should everyone's social media profile be the same logo? So others will associate the logo with university through all of its departments, and for some people, you may be the only exposure they have to the university. When everyone's pages carry the same logo, it presents a very cohesive look. If you present an image that is inconsistent with the rest of the institution, you're missing an opportunity to reinforce the image of the university. Now, one of these posts follows the guidelines better than the other. In the chat, can you tell me which one? Alumni from Ronnie Jones, that is correct. It was kind of obvious with the marks through it. So, everybody got that right? Move on to the next slide. So here are some do's and don'ts for social media posting. Do use hashtags when appropriate. When adding hashtags, use a technique that we call camel case, in which you capitalize the first letter of every word to make them accessible for screen readers. Examples include hashtag TXWomans or hashtag campus with a heart, where the first letter of each word is capitalized. Consider using the free version of later.com to help you schedule posts and manage accounts. Include shortened links in the body copy using bit.ly that direct people back to the website when appropriate. Be creative and make sure the size of the image is appropriate for the platform you're using. Use the TWU family of colors or appropriate shades most of the time. To ensure text is readable, avoid busy backgrounds and make sure that there is a high color contrast between the text and the background. You can use the following site. Nope, back. You can use the following site to check your color contrast between text and background. Respond to people ask questions or comments. Remember that social media is a two-way conversation, but admins have control and may need to delete user comments and violate university policies. Posts may be removed for any of the following reasons at any time: the use of obscene, threatening, discriminatory, or harassing language, disclosure of information that is confidential by law or regulation, comments advocating illegal activities, posts violating copyrights or trademarks, advertisements or promotions of commercial products, services, entities, or individuals, endorsement or opposition of any person campaigning for election to a political office or promoting or opposing any ballot proposal, and duplicate comments by the same user or multiple users. In the case of identical comments, only the first submission should be approved. Example, when one user posts the same comment verbatim more than once. Keep in mind, Melissa, you're muted if you're trying to say something. Keep in mind that all users, including administrators, are subject to the terms of service of the host site. Communications made through social technology in no way constitutes a legal or official notice to Texas Woman's University, its agencies, faculty, or staff. References to third-party content or websites do not indicate endorsement or responsibility on behalf of the university. In addition, TWU faculty, staff, and students managing or posting to social accounts must adhere to all appropriate university and social media site policies, as well as the university's technology use policy. All content and branding guidelines can be found at the posted website. Now for some don'ts. Don't take a screenshot of a flyer that has way too much text on it and post it as an image. Don't think that links in a screenshot are clickable. Don't use QR codes for social media posts. Don't create an account that you can't manage and check daily, sometimes multiple times a day, depending on the channel. Don't think that people are going to click on your image to see the whole thing. Don't post without testing how it looks first on multiple platforms, at least on your phone and computer. And don't post an image without including all text in the body of the post. This goes for emails also. Now, a final word about social media. Being a channel admin during a crisis is a responsibility not to be taken lightly. Consistent and coordinated messaging is key to effective rumor control during a crisis. During a crisis, follow the university's lead and share official statements. Be aware that emails and communications to social media managers may request radio silence during certain situations. Now I'll throw that back over to Beth. You're muted, Beth.
Thank you. Sorry about that. So when you're communicating on social media or you're writing up text for advertising, one of the main things to keep in mind is simplicity. George Orwell set out 6 elementary rules for language that break it down really well. We're paraphrasing them here. Never use a metaphor, simile, or other figure of speech that you're used to saying all the time. This keeps your writing fresh and free of cliches. Never use a long word where a short one will do. Fancy phrasing can be fun, but Complicating things makes it harder for people to get your message quickly. If it's possible to cut out a word, always cut it out, especially for social media. Never use a passive where you can use the active. Always use active language when you can to make your writing more lively and engaging. Never use an unfamiliar phrase, a scientific word, or jargon if you can think of an everyday equivalent. Remember, keep it simple. And it is always better to break any or all of these rules rather than write something that doesn't feel or sound right. Use good judgment. You know your audience. Another important thing to keep in mind is to write in the positive rather than the negative whenever possible. Instead of saying, we don't like eagles, frame it positively and say, we like owls. Using negative words in program initiatives, workshop sessions, brochure titles, etc., sets a negative tone from the beginning. It's much better to invite someone in with positive thoughts and words. If you need help writing content, please let us know, and we can help you or point you in the right direction to get help. Another great resource to keep in mind on campus is the Write site. And Lucy is right, that is very similar to resume writing rules. And as we work to make, next slide up. There we go. As we work to make the TWU brand as strong as possible, we're lucky to have amazing online resources. Like I said earlier, the TWU Photo Shelter houses pictures and logos that are ready for use. Marketing's internal resource page has a visual identity manual, social media guidelines, and a lot more, and is a wonderful go-to resource when you're not sure what the right thing to do is when it comes to any design or branding decisions for TWU or your social media accounts. You can also find great info on proper sizing for social media images on Sprout Social.
There we go. I'm back on. So, does anyone have any questions about branding? I got a no from Mr. Wilson. I'm not seeing anything. Well, if you do have any questions, you are welcome to email me at mcar@twu.edu. We can help you out. We are recording this, so if no one has any questions, I think we're done. I appreciate y'all taking time to come and listen to us. And again, let us know if you have any questions.
Have a good rest of your day, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you.